the conversation we kept avoiding. There are conversations you prepare for, and there are conversations you avoid so well you convince yourself they don't exist. This was the second kind. I noticed it in the way we spoke around things, not about them, around. We didn't argue. That was the strange part. Everything sounded polite, functional, reasonable. From the outside, it looked healthy. From the inside, it felt unfinished. Her name was Emma, and for a long time, I told myself we were fine. We met when neither of us was looking for anything serious. That detail mattered later. At first, it felt easy. Shared humor, similar pace, comfort without demand. I liked that she didn't need reassurance every 5 minutes. She liked that I didn't push. We called it compatibility. But comfort has layers, and we stayed on the surface longer than we should have. There were moments, small ones. A pause after a question, a glance that lingered too long, a sentence that stopped halfway. We ignored them because ignoring was easier than naming. One night, she asked me something simple. "Do you think we're moving somewhere?" I answered quickly. "Yes." Too quickly. She nodded, didn't smile, didn't push, and that's when I knew. That question wasn't answered. It was postponed. Time passed. Weeks turned into months. Nothing broke, which somehow made it worse. I started feeling restless without knowing why. Not unhappy, unsettled. I caught myself imagining alternative versions of conversations, things I might say, things she might ask. But when we were together, I stayed careful, controlled. One evening, sitting on opposite ends of the couch, she said, "Do you ever feel like we're avoiding something?" There it was. I could have denied it. I almost did. Instead, I said, "Yes." That word landed heavier than expected. She didn't react right away. She breathed. Then asked, "Why do you think we are?" That question didn't have an easy answer, so I didn't give one. "I think we're afraid of what it would change," I said. She nodded slowly. "Me too." Silence filled the room, not awkward, honest. That's when the conversation actually began. We talked about expectations, not future plans. Expectations, what we assumed, what we hoped, what we avoided saying out loud. She admitted she wanted clarity, not immediately, but eventually. I admitted I liked the relationship as it was, that I feared changing it would expose limits. Neither of us was wrong. That was the problem. At some point, she asked, "If nothing changes, will you be satisfied?" I thought carefully, then answered honestly, "I don't know." She didn't cry. She didn't accuse. She said something that stayed with me. "I don't want to slowly outgrow something you're comfortable inside." That sentence reframed everything. I realized I had been measuring success by stability. She was measuring it by growth. We took a break from the conversation. Not a break from each other. Just space. Days passed. I noticed how much mental energy I'd spent maintaining ambiguity, how tiring it was to not choose. When we met again, the atmosphere was different. Calmer. More serious. She said, "I don't need certainty today. I need honesty." So I gave it. I told her that part of me had been holding back, not because of her, because commitment meant visibility, and visibility scared me. She listened, didn't interrupt. Then she said, "I don't want you to become someone else for me. I want to know who you already are." That's when I understood something clearly. Avoiding the conversation hadn't protected us. It had delayed the truth. We didn't decide everything that night. We didn't label the future. But we did something more important. We stopped pretending. In the weeks that followed, something shifted. Not dramatically, but deeply. We spoke more directly, asked harder questions, allowed discomfort. And eventually, the answer became clear, not as a realization, as a feeling. One evening walking home, I knew I couldn't give her what she was moving toward, not without resentment, not without fear. So I said it, calmly, respectfully, completely. She didn't try to change my mind. That's how I knew we'd done this right. We ended things without damage, without bitterness, with sadness and relief. Months later, I still think about that conversation, not as a failure, but as a moment of integrity. Some relationships aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to teach you how to speak the truth before it hurts more. We didn't lose each other. We met each other fully, once. The conversation we kept avoiding was the one that finally set us free.